I just finished watching the second of the Book Leo's live streams, and during it we had several read-alongs, and I was reading Uncle Titus in the Country, and I was like 12 pages from finishing it. I started it during one of them. I was 12 pages from finishing it, and I just finished it. So it's a really good book. The read-alongs were fun. The live stream was fun. And, back to Uncle Titus in the Country. This is a really fun book. I mean, if you are familiar with Joanna Spyri, you may have guessed where the story was going. Or if you're just familiar with, like, children's books of this type from this era at all, you may have known where the story was going. Because it's definitely a type of book, and I like this type of book because, it's a fun story. It's a bit ridiculous, but it's fun and so hopeful. I would say The Little Princess is in the same vein, so sorry if you, are not spoiled. But this is by the same author as Heidi. It's shorter, way, way shorter than Heidi. This is, 245 pages, and they are not massive pages, and this book counts for the middle grade reading lunch as of course being illustrated, also as being in a different country. So yep, that's the most recent read. So I need to start putting together last week's vlog soon. But my computer is going so slow. I fell on it last week, and now I'm afraid that I broke my hard drive again. I struggled to. I hope it didn't break. Tuesday evening update. I've been reading 3 books today. One is an ebook, the Slug Chronicles Season 1. It's a bit weird, but I have an arc and it's coming out in a few days, so yeah, I'm reading it so I can review it, possibly on release date, maybe the day before, I don't know. But yeah, the Slug Chronicles Season 1, I'm reading it, I'm reviewing it. It's a bit weird, but whatever. Moving on to, I also started reading, whenever I started reading this, The Book on the Bookshelf. Oh my goodness, this book is amazing! This book is just so amazing! Guys, and first of all, I need to get a great Instagram picture with this because it lends itself to Instagram the most. What's a better Instagram book than this? That's the front cover. Anyhow, it's the history of the bookshelf, written in 1999, so some of the, modern up-to-date comparisons are hilarious. Some of them are still true, because, a box of chocolates is a box of chocolates, and they haven't changed in, 100 years. Box of chocolate analogies. Yeah, so, like I said, there's, comparisons in here that are stuff. And then it's just, the ancient history is ancient history. People stored books in chests. That's just what they did. In some ways, that's what we still do. I have, boxes of books. Ideally we'd have them all out on shelves, but we don't have shelves, so they're just boxes. So it's really fascinating. I highly am enjoying in this. If you like books and random weird things, I would recommend. But I'm only, yay far in, so full review time. Actually, that's just gonna be a full video of itself because that's how I started. Behind Distant Stars, Book 2 in the Chronicles of Fid by David J. Rees. This is also getting its own full video, so yeah, I taped it up because it's my Tuesday book, so that means it's having to go with me to the food pantry back, so just it would get so dinged. And I love this cover. I think this is his new cover. I think he sent me the updated cover, even though he was like offering the old covers. I think he sent me the updated cover, even though I don't care about covers. This thing could be coverless. I would still be like, this book is amazing. This book is also amazing. I'm reading 2 super good books and just 1 mad book right now, and oh my goodness. It's not mad, it just has weird aspects to it. I'm just, oh my goodness, this book, I'm like 50% of the way through it. Oh my, Fred, I love Fred. What's his daughter's name? I keep forgetting his daughter's name. Whisper. Whisper's, oh my goodness, Whisper, and Whisper's great, and there's not much Red Ghost in here, which, you know, I mean, he wasn't a big character in the first one. I guess we're getting more Overgrowth? That's not her name. Regrowth. We're getting more Regrowth, and we just finished, like, talking about Viridian, and it's just so many superhero names. It's like, and then like a lot of them have their regular names mentioned too. Tons of names, but you were wondering why there was a slight cut here. It's because I saw that I was rambling on for like 4.5 minutes, and I was like, Okay, so these are the 2 ebooks I read this week. Well, I finished this one this week. So let's talk about this one first. The Hamlin Stoop, the Eagle, the Cave, and the Footbridge, it, like, barely classifies as middle grade. So, it was good. I enjoyed it. But, like, the torture elements were there. Classic elements were there, so, like, it read more like a classic than a lot of middle grades. So, you know, more descriptions, more flowery writing, more talking about, you know, the good old times. So, yeah. It's middle grade-ish. So, I don't really know how to describe it. Anyhow, it's the story about Hamlin Stoop, and the Eagle, the Cave, and the Footbridge. And a few other things. Mainly the good old times. Why he is afraid to go through the cave with the eagle and cross the footbridge. Basically. As literally, the cover explains the whole story. There's an eagle, a cave, and a footbridge. It's pretty basic. Anyhow, it doesn't fulfill any of the prompts. This one, however, the Slug Chronicles Season 1 by S.O. Thomas. I read this in a couple of days. And it's definitely, if this one's older middle grade / weird people middle grade, this is young, slightly different weird people, because that's like minimal fantasy, you know. This is definitely fantasy, and it's a fun one. Oh yeah, it's a fun one, but it's a bit weird, and it has illustrations. I would say if it's a mystery, because she's like, but it's not. Everyone's just lying to her, and it's miserable. Basically, yeah, the story is she's having a miserable, she's having a miserable time of life, and it's just a real struggle for her, and it's fun. It's a bit weird. So she goes, she finds out, she knows she can see things other people can't, and she finds out about it, and it's just, focus, would ya? Jolly strange. And all's well that ends well. I don't know how well this section will turn out, but I'm rendering a video inside, and it's almost dry enough that you don't notice the dampness. So I decided to come outside since it's nice and sunny, get myself some sun. So, just finished Beyond the Bright Sea by Lauren Wolk. It's okay. I wished it had more sailing. That's not saying much because I love sailing books. That's why I actually decided to read it, because it had a sailboat on the cover. And it had some sailing, but just no. And yesterday I read, all in a hurry because I had an arc that was kind of due, Emberhawk by Jamie Fowley. It's also okay. It's just a bit weird. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. It's a strange fantasy. I do think I'll be reading more about it. I don't have thoughts on it really yet. So this one is middle grade, and so it counts for middle grade March. It's a mystery, but that's it. I've been listening to so many audiobooks, and this has been the most recent one. I finished it a little bit earlier. I started listening to Anne of Green Gables ages ago, did a full video about it. Probably will end up doing a full video about Anne of Avonlea. So, this is just to say, I listened to Anne of Avonlea, and it's great. I finished this Sunday afternoon. I wasn't reading much Saturday afternoon. I wasn't reading much Saturday. So I only read 2 books and started a third that I'm not going into because it's going to probably get its whole video. Anyhow, so the book on the bookshelf. First of all, this cover. Second of all, this book was hilarious. It deserves its own video. I have too many books. I've read too many books that deserve their own video, but highly recommend if you like books and history and just humor. And then I read The Banner in the Sky. I've been meaning to read this one for a while. I started it ages ago, got 3 chapters in. The problem with the story is the kid's a teenager, and teenagers who do things drive me nuts because they don't think. But this is a very great story. I mean, I see why it's a classic. I mean, I understand that. Now, it's great, but I don't know. It took me a bit. So, Banner in the Sky, the book on the bookshelf. 2 books I recommend.